Next on the Delaware Way, the Republican Party believes it can win more races in Delaware. They'll tell you how. And if you're looking for a dog, we've got one. This is the Delaware Way. Welcome to the Delaware Way. I'm Larry Menti. There's no question about it. Just look at the last few elections. Delaware is a Democratic state. You just have to look at the registration to prove it's a blue state. Our next guest would like to change all that. Emily Taylor is the Vice Chair and Executive Director of the Delaware Republican Party. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
It seems like things aren't going your way nationally at this point, and that's going to affect Delaware politics as well, won't it?
Well, I think Delaware's a pretty local state, and we're going to be focused on our local House races and Senate races. So I can't tell you what the tide's going to be nationally, but I know in Delaware we're going to try to talk about the local issues and changing the one-party rule that we've had here for way too long.
And that is what some Republican parties are trying to do across the country right now. I know I've seen ads in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. You have candidates, Democratic candidates, that want to talk about Donald Trump and make the election about Donald Trump because they're in states where Donald Trump is not popular. And the Republican candidate wants to talk about local issues. And I guess the question is, who wins in that battle?
Well, we'll see in November, but we're going to stick to, was one-party rule in Delaware good for you? How have the last decade been when the Democrats have controlled the executive branch in both houses? And we're going to stick to our issues of jobs in the economy, education here in Delaware, and crime and safety.
And you've had a little bit of success with that in like the state senate elections, and you have the state treasurer, and so you've had some success.
Yeah.
And can you look at those successes and say, okay, this is what worked?
Well, I think it works when we have more qualified candidates. You used to talk about the state treasurer's race. I think Ken Simpler was head and shoulders the more qualified candidate in that race, and I think he will win re-election this year. So we're just going to put out our slate of qualified candidates, which is what we're recruiting and what we've been working on putting together, and make our case that we're ready to run the state.
Is it difficult in the climate in the country right now? And I'm sorry I keep bringing up the country,
Sure.
but I do think it has an effect. Is it difficult to find qualified candidates who are willing to give the time, raise money, and then go against this tide? It seems like almost a Don Quixote-like fight.
Well, elections are tough, and they are time-consuming, and they do require you to raise a lot of money. But, like I said, I think people are tired of one-party rule in Delaware, and I think that we have a good slate of young candidates right now that are highly qualified that I'm really excited about. So
let's just say I'm one of those candidates, and
okay.
I say to you, okay, all right, I'm ready to go. I can raise the money. What's our strategy? You tell me what I'm supposed to do to beat what seemingly is this Democratic wave across the country.
I think you have to look at the district that you're running in, and you have to decide what issues are going to be important to your voters and hit the pavement and get your message out there. Knocking doors is incredibly important in Delaware, and we're going to need high-energy candidates that are willing to get out there and really share that message, and they need to individualize it for their districts and talk about what's important to those people. It's
difficult sometimes to get your message out in Delaware because you don't have a TV market.
Right.
I mean, you don't want to spend money in Philadelphia and Baltimore. You spend a fortune, and you're sending a message out to people that can't vote for you anyway, for the most part. Does that help or hurt you?
I think it helps us. I think in Delaware, retail politics is very important. People expect to be able to see their U.S. senators and their congressmen at the street or at the grocery store or something. And so we're going to use that to our advantage and have our candidates everywhere, meeting people and getting face-to-face with everybody so that we can really drive home our message. My theory always is, and I don't think I'm alone in this, that the Republican Party in Delaware was damaged, because it used to be a strong Republican state. You had Republican governors, you had Republican senators, Republican congressmen, and there seemed to be, the tide turned when the Tea Party came out against Mike Castle's run for Senate and backed Christine O'Donnell, which was a disaster. It was a very divisive primary, and we've been working diligently since 2010 to repair some of the relationships that were broken during that primary. I think that we've done a very good job at that. And all we can do is to continue to move forward from here.
Yeah, you say you've done a very good job, but in the top seats, it's all been Democrats since then.
Sure. We needed to work on some stuff within our party, mending some relationships within our party before we were able to go out and really fight the Democrats again. And so I think we've done a good job at mending the relationships within the moderates in the Republican Party and the Tea Party's types within the Republican Party. And I think we're stronger for that. And I think now we're ready to fight the Democrats.
Is there a fight between the Southern Republicans and the Northern Republicans in Delaware? Because I would think the Republicans in the southern part of the state are a little bit more conservative.
They are a little bit more conservative, which is why we tell local candidates to run to their district. So I think that our last couple of chairmen have done a good job at saying we need to run people who are appropriate for their districts, and that's what we've been doing. I think that that's helped to mend some of the hostility that came from 2010 within the party and the divisive primary, and we'll continue to do that.
Are you looking actively for candidates still right now for seats?
Yeah, our goal is to fill as many seats as possible. So, you know, we're looking to fill a couple of the state house seats still, a couple of the state senate seats, because we want to make sure that the people of Delaware have options on Election Day.
So if there might be good people out there right now that are thinking to themselves they would love to run for office.
And we'd love for them to contact us.
And how do they do that?
So they can go on our state party website, which is www.delawaregop.com, or they can call our office. Our phone number is 302-668-1954.
Wonderful. Thank you.
So, thanks so much.
Congratulations on the job, too. Emily Taylor, Vice Chair and Executive Director of the Delaware Republican Party. When we come back, you're going to learn about Delaware's oldest civil legal aid group when the Delaware Way continues.